We're ready. I'm sorry. I thought Matt passed out his.
I am so sorry. I did. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Penny. I'm sorry. That's my fault. That's bad
My-
clerk duties.
My assistant just.
Your Lisa's assistant didn't do his job.
Did you tell him to do it?
I didn't know about it.
Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Maysville Board of Commissioners Thursday, May 19th, 2022 special meeting. Let's begin with our invocation. Dear Lord, we thank you for the many blessings that you give us, and we ask thee to lead us and guide us as we go throughout each day, and especially today as we make decisions that affect our citizens. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Here.
Commissioner McKay,
Here.
Mayor Cotterill,
Yes, ma'am.
City Manager Wallingford,
Here.
Controller Stanfield,
Here.
HR Director Rose,
Here.
Project Coordinator Horde,
Here.
Public Works Director Truesdale,
Here.
Police Chief Palmer,
Here.
Fire Chief Doyle,
Here.
Utility Manager Julian, Planning and Zoning Administrator Larger,
Here.
Building Inspector Fawcett, Codes Officer Brooks, Tourism Director Holleran, Main Street Director Reese.
Thank you. Closed session pursuant of the KRS 61.8101F, discussion which might lead to the appointment of an individual employee.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes.
Mayor Cotterill.
Yes, ma'am.
This will be real quick. I mean, Chief and Mom.
Thank you, Penny. You're welcome. You're gonna have to fire him, Lisa.
I'll get one from Ranger. I think that's off myself.
And Lisa, is he still flying?
I don't think he does a lot of
He
trips.
was doing like international flights and stuff too, wasn't
Yeah, yeah. Just with COVID, they've just had a lot less air traffic, so I don't know how it is right now. I'm sure it's picked up some.
Yes, sir. I am, but I'm actually at a budget meeting and they're in a closed session right now.
he? The one we did last time. I'm gonna have another one, because we're doing interviews here today. so
Yeah.
they'll be off another- They're gonna do another special. Yes, they have. The letter itself, I'm pretty sure. And you got the two hard copies and stuff, I did not send it to you. To you and Matt.
See, I thought they're gonna have to make it. They're gonna have to make the hamburgers just because our hamburgers won't put too short.
Yeah, and I know, you know, one of them we had that was a tip from tip.
I think they're gonna use.
Well, no, it wasn't. Well, it was initially,
The
and
toppings
then a
that
lady
comes
called
out
me
there.
who did it. She said,
Fabricate the
"Hey,
other piece that
we
turns.
need officers out there every hour." Well, I
No,
can't guarantee that.
Well, they're-
I'm kind of stressed thin. I said,
Too
"We
short.
will
Our hamburgers
make
might
some
get
of that."
that.
And I said, "Oh,
Because it's
it's
gonna look good.
I
They said, no, said,
I do.
yes.
Somebody talks. I'm like, check this one out. So I
It
knew
sounds like
when they were-
It was.
And that's fine, you know, I appreciate her, I'd rather her be that interested in it than not,
Right.
because that helps us out.
Hey, Kevin, don't forget to get away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will entertain a motion to bring us back to order.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay, Mayor Cottrell.
Yes, ma'am. Budget workshop.
All right, Mayor and Commissioners, first thing, did everybody get a copy of the salary schedule that was sent out? Okay, I'd like to turn that over to Rhonda. You wanna go over that?
Basically, the minimum rates stayed the same as last year. We did not adjust those. The maximum rates were adjusted accordingly based upon the 5% increase. We did change some titles in Public Works and the Utility Department. But other than that, that's about all the big changes. Questions?
I just want to ask a question. Do we still do evaluations every so often?
You wanna explain what your goal is moving forward?
Okay, since I've been here, I've looked at the evaluation forms. They need to be revamped. So we're gonna have a uniform evaluation form, I think, for every department, but I think you all use a different one, the police department does. I don't know. Okay, so it'll be admin, utility, and public works will have the same evaluation form. And then prior to that, my goal is to have a job description for every single employee because they definitely need updated. I've already got most of the department heads' job descriptions completed, but I feel like an employee needs their job description in order to know what they should be doing prior to the evaluation. I will have a new evaluation form, so July 1, after that, the department head supervisors will meet with their employees, discuss their job descriptions, they're gonna sign off on those. And I think it's a good idea to have a mid-year review if needed, because sometimes we need to put employees on a PIP, a performance improvement plan, and then that gives them time to make changes before the final evaluation in May.
So how long has it been since we've done evaluation?
Well, police still did theirs this year, but the other three departments, did you do yours?
We did not do them this year. We did them consistently every year. When we changed the whole promotion process, it kind of threw some of that out the window because a lot of it was irrelevant. So we've been inconsistent for probably 2 years now. So we are on board.
Do you
with
think
it.
it's relevant now?
Absolutely, yes.
I agree.
Good question.
Once Rhonda has these tools in place, then it will be easier for supervisors then to monitor or evaluate performances, because you've got a tool to do that with. So thank you, Rhonda, for getting that into place, which is much needed. Thank you.
It's gonna take a little time, but I'm gonna get there.
That's okay.
And you've already started and you have a lot completed?
I've already got the actual evaluation form completed, it just needs some tweaking. And so instead of, say for instance, next year, if there's an approved increase, then it could be based upon performance, and the individual may not receive 5%.
So does the commission get to see those evaluations?
Of each employee?
Typically, you all, I mean, you can see anything you want, but typically you all are, would be in charge of my evaluation.
Yeah, I know, but I just.
And we can see anything except for the tax returns that are turned in. There's a state statute specifically on the tax returns that businesses turn in. But I think other than that, I think everything's,
Good, I remember that.
am I right, Mr. City Manager?
I believe so, yes, we had that discussion a while back, yeah. That was the only thing that is not open.
Any other questions on the budget?
Well, on the salary schedule, Mayor, yeah. Okay, because that'll be a separate item. Are there any other questions on the budget? Because Penny is working on the numbers. She's wanting to get those finalized by tomorrow because she's going to be out next week, and that way she can have the numbers finalized and the ordinance presented to Kelly, so he can have that ready for a first reading.
Well, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Why are we in such a hurry? The budget doesn't start till July 1st.
Because of June is going to be crazy with people being gone, vacations, etc. I'm going to be out. I know she's going to be out. All these folks will
We'll
be
have to work around.
taken. I mean, is there any changes that need to? I
I
mean,
think I would like to go through some of the departments.
well, let's go. You want to go through it? That's what we're
We
here.
actually started this process a little earlier this year because we knew that we needed to be done by the first part of
I
June.
understand that, but we also, am I not correct, last year we did the same process, but then we came back with each department if we had questions.
I'm not questioning for you to question. I'm just saying the process, we started early, so
You
we
know,
could be finished
Can
early.
we go over, do you have some specific things?
Yeah, well, that's what we're here. That's we
Okay,
can.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
I
can
have
go
some-
over.
I have
Absolutely.
some specific things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
That's why I brought all the big
Okay.
four in here.
Well, I mean.
Yeah.
There's several things that on this $100,000 batch plant, mobile batch plant. I looked at buying one of those once, and that was 20 years ago. They were like $100,000 then. But I talked to Danny Reeder, who was gonna do his own, buy one and do it. And he bought one at an auction. And he said, the first job he tried to do, the state came in and said, not approved. So they apparently, is it sidewalks? I mean, they inspect your unit or whatever. And so anyway, he got out of the business quickly.
Well, the state would have control on state right of ways, but
Yeah.
as far as sidewalks, the city would have control on those. That would have to go through their codes enforcement, whether we be up to it. So as far as our city sidewalks, that would be up to us and up to you guys
Okay.
on what we would be entitled to have to put into it.
Well, even beyond that, the state doesn't have any. They don't have anything to do with sidewalks.
They don't, yeah,
we
they
fix.
don't have
We fix
anything to
we fix the sidewalks on state highways.
You don't fix the sidewalk over Limestone Creek.
We fixed. I mean, we did the sidewalks all the way up and down 3rd Street, which is a state highway. We've done them over here on Bridge Street, which is a state highway.
Anything that involves.
You
a
ever
boy.
had the state? Never.
No, you'd have to, I mean, if they wanted to core test it and do stuff like that, they could.
Yeah.
But we go by their mix design, which we do the same thing. The difference we'll have to have with a plant, we'll have to have a Kentucky pollution discharge permit
Mhm.
because of run over and stuff like that, but those are relatively easy to get.
Do you have to do fugitive dust on that too, or is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you'll have a dust bag house, little
Okay.
top on it.
It just seems like it's an awful lot of work anyway, and an awful lot of money.
Well, we'd have to find one, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, may I go on in?
Yeah.
Okay. This, river grant, how far along is it?
You talking about the federal
Flat-
lands
flat,
access
yeah.
plan?
Flat grant.
We should know. I think, as I mentioned in a previous meeting, I was told we ought to know something in June.
Okay.
And we have money allocated already to do that work. We're just waiting to see if we get that grant, because if we start the project and we get the grant, we can't get reimbursed for anything that we do. That's why we're
So
kinda-
we don't really know if we're gonna get this grant.
No, we don't, but we have money allocated to do the work.
So
I
last
just-
year, but in
Yeah.
this budget, we had 750.
370,
Well, there
Year
was
before?
375 allocated last year and then 375 for this year, so
So
we didn't
750.
use last year, so I increased it and put all 750 in this year. So there is 750,000 of river-related expenditures included in this budget. I can remove that and take that out if we want, because I did not include that grant.
Well, here's the
I'm
question.
assuming
Here's my
we're-
question. What if we don't get the grant?
Right.
Will we spend that money because did we know about this grant 2 years ago?
No,
No,
this
But we
grant
didn't
just
spend
came.
any money on Riverfront.
we didn't. We would have, if we had done anything, Vic, we would have done something probably starting in the spring of this year. But we found out early this year about this grant. We were actually approached by a gentleman with the Department of Interior and he said, you all need to apply for this grant. So that's why we held off. We saw this and said, hey, let's go after this. This might cover
No,
our
I agree,
expenses.
and
Yeah.
And I'm excited, and I don't think there's anybody in here, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, that's more excited and have been advocate about Riverfront
Sure.
development than I have.
Yeah.
But,
You know, one thing I,
again, I'm getting old here. I'm getting old, and we're still talking about it from the 1980s. So if the money, if we're not gonna spend the money, then take it out of the budget.
that's what I was getting ready to say, that, you know, if you want me to just assume we're gonna get the grant, I could just put the 160,000 in, that would be our match, and remove the 750. You know, it will make the numbers look a lot better at the end of the
Yes.
day
Yeah.
on that, if we wanna do that, and that's,
Well, that would take us down to $5 million over budget. Deficit.
right.
But what if we don't get the grant?
If we don't get it, then we would have to then come up with
Redirect
a
it,
plan, or
Yeah.
push it to the next fiscal year.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Or do a budget amendment.
Right.
Yeah. Which we can do.
Okay, we've been through this street sweeper thing for years. I don't wanna buy a new street sweeper. You look back, we were renting a sweeper for $1,300 a month. And I think we could even do better than that. I mean, we can rent a better machine. I mean, I think they're out there, and I just think this is an awful lot of money.
I agree.
Is
Just
that,
saying.
yeah, I agree. Is that outsourced? Are they still available? Are they?
Who did you rent it from?
You remember?
Contract
We had,
street
No, we
sweeper.
didn't. They-
We had
Contract
the
sweeping.
guy from
Yeah.
over in Peebles.
But wasn't it a Pelican, Barry?
It was
Just,
exactly
it
like
was
the
just
one
like
we had.
ours. But I mean, we can check and see if they have a,
Well, it did work. That's the only thing, you know. And I think what needs to happen when they get these streets done, I think we need to get the firemen, chief, to go out there and wash them down like they used to.
Ain't gonna happen. There's no way in the world we
Yeah.
can get that done.
No.
Plus, it would take millions of gallons of water. Plus, if you're washing them, then you're putting all the stuff that you're trying to pick up out of the sewer drains into the sewer.
correct.
Well, you
I
can
mean,
put,
the purpose of the sweeper is to keep that stuff out of the sewer system.
well, I'll tell you what, there's enough of it on the street right now that, you know,
It's because we don't have the appropriate sweeper to pick it up. That's the problem.
We have a dysfunctional sweeper.
Yeah.
There's no way that would ever. We just,
It's
there's no way
counterintuitive.
we can do that.
Well, and you know,
I mean, I'm not
You've
saying
got-
in certain areas or after. I mean, we do that now
Yeah.
after a construction.
well,
project
after
or
construction. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like,
something. Oh yeah, we could. I mean, we do that now.
like you always did.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or take a little section every week or every
Yeah,
month, whatever.
There's no way we can do that.
Yeah.
I can't agree with that, but we will.
Okay.
We will do localized areas after a construction project or something like that. Yeah.
Can we look at leasing it out or how, and see what the cost is?
oh yeah, we sure, absolutely we can. I mean, do you want to,
I just think $350,000 is a lot of money right now for.
Not
running
lease
into
it,
deficit.
but
Renting or however you do it.
Contract it
Outsource.
out.
contract it
We
out?
don't
Yeah,
have
and we
the
did do that
staffing.
years ago.
yeah. I just think
So you're looking at 7 months a year,
that's better money well spent, I think.
whatever you got. Yeah, we'll do whatever y'all want. Do you all want us to, I'm sorry.
I just think that whatever, I'm not opposed to that concept, but I think we do not need to go down another avenue of dysfunction. So, if we lease or contract for it, it's gotta be one that actually picks up the trash and stuff, so
Sure.
it doesn't go into the sewer where we're having so much problems already.
And I agree.
It needs to be something similar to the machine that we
yes,
looked at
that's similar.
purchasing. Okay.
That just,
And I don't know that we need to necessarily, maybe and we could always come back and do a budget amendment if we couldn't contract for one. But, we've got to
Call
find a
Johnson's and
workable
I'll
solution,
call it.
because all we're doing now is stirring up dust.
And that's very true.
And I just think the whole thing is a kind of a slippery slope. You need a CDL, don't you, Dennis?
Yes.
Okay.
For that one that we looked at, David,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
mean, you're adding another layer
But
So
it-
does that mean we have to hire another employee?
No,
We can't take them out of transit?
we have
We
one,
have
we
one.
have one already, yeah. But if we contract it, obviously,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Everything.
provide
That's right.
the driver. So so Dennis had 350 in there for a new sweeper. Would you maybe put 50 in there for contract? Does that sound
I
that,
think
you know,
would
if you're
be-
talking
that should
7
be-
months, I would think that would be plenty, wouldn't it? April through the end of October. Do y'all wanna go that route?
I mean, I think even
Yes.
30
Yeah.
would
Yes.
probably be.
Yeah, let's do that and see where we are money wise.
So cut the sweeper and just allocate money in there for contractual services. So
Maybe
long.
they can get me a quote real quick
Yeah.
of a
If I
reasonable
see what they
number.
can get with me, I'll get hold of some of them today if
Okay.
I can and see,
All
move
right.
the ball a little faster.
Isn't the
Hopefully
lease
my
gonna
money
include a
handles it.
finance charge though? I mean, isn't that really the only difference? We got the same equipment, we're paying for interest basically.
Well, if we contract it, they'll give us a flat, kind of like our recycling dumpsters. They'll give us a flat. It'll be a flat number per month. I think
Right.
when we did it before, it was like $1,200 or $1,300 a
13.
month to do it, and they come in and they do the sweeping.
Oh.
Yeah, the company comes in and does all that.
We did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
A
And,
couple of years.
Okay, wait a minute, David. I just want to make sure.
Okay, all right.
So cross that off.
yes.
Put money in there for contractual services, and make sure that we have something that will pick everything up
Yes.
when we do that. Okay. All right. Got you.
What are you doing with the plant? You gonna hold off on it?
Do you all? Yeah. Let's go back to the concrete
Let's go back to
plant.
the plant.
You want to hold off on it?
Yes.
Yes,
Is that a consensus?
it is for me.
Okay. So I got 1. I got 2. I got 3. So that's I've got a consensus then. I got 3 out of the 5.
I'm ready for a concrete plant, but
Okay.
I'm happy to lose.
Okay. I think I've got 3.
Okay, I noticed on the vehicles, we're buying more vehicles we've got 18 vehicles for 24 employees.
Where you at, David?
I've got questions.
Okay, all right. Go
Didn't
ahead.
we just buy a Bobcat last year? I was comparing.
We did not. We haven't had a Bobcat in over 18
You
years.
bought a new excavator.
We bought a
Yeah.
track.
Oh yeah, Trico. Yeah,
That's to demolition for the houses.
Okay,
which pays for itself essentially.
I think that's a must.
yeah, okay.
Didn't we buy a used Bobcat at one point,
No,
a few years, maybe the utility did?
no. Utility don't own one, they use ours.
There's 2 little excavators.
Oh,
but
I
that
thought
was
those were Bobcats.
they're brand Bobcat. but
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
5
why.
years
That's what it
old.
was.
Excavators.
I thought
we
at
bought
one
for the
point we bought
cemetery.
2, one was for the utility, one was for public works.
Yes, but there's the little tracos that they dig the grade with and the small spots, in the alleyways where they can't get.
Anything else on public works?
Yeah, I got a Christmas tree. I'm sorry. Why didn't Caroline, why didn't she looking at this?
Me and
They
Caroline
did.
looked at this and we both talked about it, and she said add it to my budget because she thought that was a city thing, and it really actually is. The city has provided the Christmas tree for years on the bank mall. They added the one to the historical site of Washington, and Lacey and them people out there found theirs, the historical society did, but we take care of it and maintain it and put it up. But we also take care of ours down here on the bank mall, which is a service of the cities and through the
I
public
just
works
think we
department,
can
so.
find something cheaper than $15.
I could probably find something cheaper, and if I really go to looking at it, I really could, but you get what you pay for. I don't wanna find something and in 2 or 3 years, it start frailing and falling apart. I really don't wanna bargain shop and get an off-brand name tree, a cheap one. I wanna try to get something that's gonna look nice and be full.
Cheaper.
Yeah, and I'm afraid with getting something cheaper, we're gonna get something that's not gonna be full, and you're gonna be able to, as the old saying is. we'll
She's
be-
saying less expensive.
Less expensive,
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
What I
cheap.
would recommend, Ann, is leave that 15 in just in case, and then let's see if we can find something less,
And I promise you, I will look for cheaper.
Yeah.
less expensive.
Yes, less expensive, but not a cheaper grade.
Yes, there you go.
I'll agree to that, but I would like to know what you found.
I sure
yeah,
will, and
we'll
I'll
let you
call
know.
you, inform you on what I'm looking for.
We can do
One
that.
thing about that, it's already included in the operating budget for Main Street. Main Street is funded by the city, so it's in their budget. We have a Christmas line item, so I did include that 15,000 for bows and tree in that line item.
That's fine, I would just like to know before it's
Right.
purchased.
But it isn't
what it
any
costs.
additional, I had already included it in operations.
We will we'll let every one of you know.
Merry Christmas.
In Main
Merry
Street.
Christmas to everybody out there. Pay for it. Sorry.
All right, Matt, what about vehicles?
Okay, where you at? What?
For the water water.
Are we not gonna stay on the street?
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
You got more, sorry.
Yeah, the parking lot,
Mhm.
was on the PDOT Public Works one, was that budgeted last year?
Yes, but we cut it,
We cut it.
How come?
because we shaved money in different places that we thought we could get by one more year.
Yeah.
You asked for it to be cut.
And you all asked for me to shave that one and cut
Okay.
it, so I
I don't
shaved it,
remember
so
everything.
I kinda put it back this year, cause we are gonna get to where it's gonna need to be done.
So it's the same price as last year, correct?
No. I don't know how much it's went up, Dave, I really can't answer that question.
Yeah, because asphalt's gone up.
Yeah.
We had 60,000. Is it 60? You had paving parking lot, Martha Comer. You had 60,000 on there originally. And then, we did take that off.
It's went up about $12 a ton.
Wow.
See, that's it, if you don't do it, then we escalate for the next year.
Yeah, the asphalt's, it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
keep,
know,
yeah, it's
that's
gonna
what I'm
keep,
saying,
yeah.
if it's not done,
It's
then it's
good.
just gonna keep going up
Yes,
higher.
ma'am.
A point price.
Yeah.
And what about the parking garage doors on PW?
Penny, you said, if, in Dennis's original budget, he had $50,000, 25 and 25 over a 2-year period. Well, Penny got to look at it and said, hey, we got 25 now, we can do half of the doors right now, prior to the end of this fiscal year. So the other 25 is to do the rest of the doors at Public Works 2 for the upcoming fiscal year. Yes, correct. Is that right?
We have a public building maintenance allocation in our operating budget, and there was only like $4,000 spent this fiscal year so far. So there is funds available for those doors in this fiscal year if we wanted to do it.
Okay. That's all the questions I
Okay.
have, so.
Here's my thing. Do they need,
Yeah.
does it need to be done?
Well, here's the thing, we're looking at the public works doors that's out there is starting to get outdated in their glass. I spoke to you all about that.
Right.
So if the glass starts falling out of them, which they are, when you raise that door, I don't wanna get into a accident.
No, I agree, I remember
Yeah,
you
and
made
yes,
that
the glass
presentation.
is starting to fall out of them. I've got 2 that's broke at the bottom that, that I can't raise. So I'm limiting my doors now to what bays I can use and what bays I can't use because the doors are tearing up,
I
the tracks are
agree. I'm
rotten.
just saying, we come in here and we have these budget workshops and we approve certain things, and then some of the items don't get done. I say, go ahead and do it. It's in the budget, I don't know why we have to. It seems like every year we're talking about the same thing.
Well,
But if the
Dennis,
money's
can
in
you
the
put a
budget,
section in those doors?
No, not these doors because they're outdated. They don't make that material no more. They don't make the stuff that would fit these doors. They can't fabricate these doors.
Yes. Well, and Penny,
David,
I
they
think
need replaced.
a lot of things that Victor's talking about, I know that you all are extremely careful with the budget and you don't start capital improvement until some of the tax money starts rolling
Right,
in.
in November.
But maybe to address Victor's problem or concerns is that we use money from the carryover that's sitting over there and start these capital projects as soon as the new year begins. And then, because we have reserves, I know we weren't
Right.
always able to do that.
Right, just in the last 2 years, we have built some extra funds in our savings account, so our cash flow is better than it has been.
And I know that's to your all's management of the money to make sure it's there and get us in a better place than we have been. And also to the departments who tightened up their budgets. And so now we have that reserve funds. But I think if we could start those capital projects sooner, then those things would get taken care of there.
I think a lot of it too is contractors and, it's just there's a lot of timing, availability and things like that, but yeah, start sooner and get it done there that year.
Did we talk about the roof on the public works?
Yeah.
When the state gave that to this, or deeded it back to the city or whatever, did they not say the roof didn't leak and everything was in good shape? David,
Yes.
did they? They
Yeah.
said it didn't.
Well, they said the roof was generally in good shape. That, the school had it.
Is it leaking now?
Mhm. It's got several areas, and the thing is, on the top of it, it's got fasteners that fasten the rubber roof down to the roof, and those are all,
The seals are.
they're
leaking.
working out.
Yeah.
You can't walk on some of the rubber part without, I mean, you just can't get up there right now. I mean, it's gonna have to, it's not that it has to be done, we can repair, try to get by with it, but if,
Obviously, I'm not as sharp as you all up here. Can we stay on topic and then go to him?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you wanna stay in public works? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm
You're fine,
Well, then-
you're fine.
apparently I don't understand, so I
You're
just want
fine.
to stay on this.
So, okay, so the
Well, I
garage,
don't wanna let things go until it's like Ann said, it's costing us more
It's
money.
costing us more money.
You
Every
gotta
year.
take care of stuff, not let it rot and fall to the
I mean,
ground.
if we put the money in the budget, I think we should be able to do it within a budget year. Shouldn't we, Penny?
That's
what
the
I'm-
intention,
That's what
that's
I
why
was
it's in
saying
there.
before I was
Yeah.
told I didn't know. That's what I've been trying to say. If we come every year and we budget it, the door,
Let's
this money
do
was
it.
budgeted for the doors, and if the money's there, then we need to do it. This biting our nails and waiting to see if we're gonna run out of money, it's just
And
crazy.
pushing it to the next
Every year
year.
we keep doing the same thing.
Are we,
That's all.
are you told not to do it? Are we tight or what?
no, we can do it. No, we'll
Okay.
definitely do it. So let's stay there in public works. The parking lot, do you wanna keep the 25,000 in there to do the parking lot?
Do
We've been
we-
talking about that for years.
We have, and we pushed it, we took it out last year
Right.
to kind of tighten. But yeah, I mean, we will have it done, yeah. If you all wanna keep that, we'll have it done. I just wanna make sure. Okay, what about the doors?
I'm okay with that. We need it.
Okay, okay.
And I'm okay with the roof. I don't want the roof to leak. There's nothing worse than a leaking roof.
Okay.
We'll come back to the roof. Okay, so the doors stay. Okay. Any other questions on public works? Okay, do you want to shift to David's?
So we're good on the Bobcat?
Yes, you good on the Bobcat? Okay. So David's would be tab 2.
I was just questioning the number of vehicles.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's utility. I
That's
believe.
utility. Do you
I'm
want to
sorry.
go? That's okay. Let's go to David, Dave.
All right.
Let's go to David, and then we'll come back
All
to
right, all right.
that.
Thank you for keeping it.
Trying. Okay, so engineering department.
Okay. How much have we spent on the old Washington meeting house? We budgeted 25,000 last year.
Yeah,
And you're asking for more 25,000.
yeah.
But it's cost more than that,
Oh, yeah.
correct?
It's cost
Way
several
more.
dollars more than that, but
How much more, Penny?
I'd probably say double.
yeah. The
I think double what was
I can
budgeted.
tell you what the reason was, and actually, the budget I had was for bathrooms, okay? We got to tearing into it, and it wasn't, the bathrooms, if I'd have remodeled the bathrooms, the rest of the building's gonna fall down, and it's probably not a good thing to do. So with our building maintenance, we went ahead and basically restored the building. Walls were rotted out, insulation was molded, the roof was in bad shape.
Who's
Chimney.
the contractor that did that?
Chim-
We got that in the beginning. So did a private contractor renovate that to be in?
And then,
Or
wait,
did we-
I heard,
We did it.
We did all
We
that.
did it 25 years ago.
did we
30
redo
years.
the bathrooms twice? I heard we redone them twice.
No. No, we just did, I mean, we just
recently
We
completed.
just recently completed those. It just opened for the farmer's market here 2 weeks ago. But, yeah, the tuck pointing needs to be done. You know, that's something that, I got one side of it done, I got the north side done, but we need to do the other 3 sides.
In your research, did you ever find out how that roof next door got to drain right down our wall there?
No, but
Unbelievable.
it's fixed. It's repaired and it won't be a problem.
Okay, leaves won't stop it up, it's gonna, all right,
I've got a hip roof on it, which drains
Oh,
both
okay.
ways.
all right.
The
All right.
roadway and the bridge and the culvert repair, that wasn't done last year.
That's annual.
That's annual.
That's
That's
annual
just
and, yeah.
small things
Yeah,
there.
that's, yeah.
We do a lot of culvert repair.
Yeah.
And,
And that's already included in the operating budget.
The handicap sidewalks was it done last year?
Same thing, yeah, we always do that.
I know about
That's-
the probation and the parole, you're still,
I was thinking on that roof on the probation and parole, we had that allocated
We
50,000?
had it allocated for 50,000, but the
Right.
bids come in. What
Yeah.
happened was there's 2 roofs on it. We thought there was just one, so they were gonna have to take one off to put a new one back on. So that doubled the
Is that
cost of it.
something though that we could go ahead and expend the 50 that we had allocated and get that project going this fiscal year and to carry over into next and just do another 50? I mean, instead of hitting this again, we had it allocated.
But the problem is I had to tear it off, then put it back. I mean, you need to
Right.
tear it off, put it back on. It all needs to be done.
Can't do part of it.
At
once.
the
Oh, I
same
realize
time.
that, I realize you
Yeah.
can't, but I didn't know if they could start in June,
I'll
you know,
have to,
and.
I'll have to rebid it.
Oh,
because-
okay, I get you. You don't have a contractor already in line for it.
No,
I just thought.
that was
you know,
last year.
I understand what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I get it.
And that's the one
We
I've
get
got
money
on.
from that,
Huh?
but we can recoup that, because we get rent monies from that, right?
Yes, we do, yes.
But I've got that, down, 8th on my priority list too, so that's one I can repair. It's just one that they've told us that needs to be done. There is some moisture. They do thermal testing on it.
There's moisture in there now,
There is some, yes.
then fix it.
I'm like her, that's income. Do you have any idea without going back and looking how much we get off that?
The lease
Yearly.
on that
Yeah.
is.
You don't.
We can pay. Okay.
I've got that.
She's got it.
We get 36,500 a year for the lease.
So a 3-year period, we recoup that money.
Fix the roof.
Fix the roof, everybody okay with that? Okay. Let's see, Ann, where was that? Now I'm looking for, David, why don't you go through your priority list, if you don't
Oh,
care?
okay.
And then that way we can get is that okay on David's side? Go ahead.
Yeah, the, number one's, of course, and I've already did a bid, opening, for it, was the Limestone Creek Pump Station. And that's, of course, the 500,000. That's the large ticket item. And that's something that's been going on for several years. We've been waiting on the pump to be foundered. They've had multiple problems. We just got word here 2 weeks ago that now it's back till September before we will get it. Whatever reasons, they've had trouble with foundries, they've been making this pump. But the electrical work, this is what this is, that can go ahead and be done. Now, that'll be coming to you shortly, once the engineer approves everything, and they can make a recommendation, but yeah, these bids are good, and then you can make we can go ahead and start that. And that would be that's gonna be within that range, it's probably gonna be less, a little less than that, but with contingency stuff, I don't see there being problems, so,
but if it's more, do you come back and tell us
yes,
more?
it would be
So
over.
Dave, I have a question. So that's just the electric?
Yes,
The 500,000, that doesn't include the pump,
the pump, that'll include that 50,000 that we haven't paid on.
that we
the
have
pump.
left on the, because we paid for everything on the pump except for that
Except
remaining
for the
50.
10%.
That 50,000 we have
Yes.
left in CDBG fund. Okay,
Yes.
so that is all electrical that we're gonna be doing.
Yes.
So I mean, you only $500,000 to upgrade the electric?
Yes.
Wire it for everything, yeah. That was a bit, that
Oh,
cost
I've
more.
seen it. I've
Yeah.
seen it.
It's
Yeah.
all four, it'll be for all four pumps and a transfer switch for for a generator.
Yeah.
Because that's the end of the road set of pump station, and that's the one that needs to
Has to
operate.
work.
Did we ever get the generator?
No, it would be
No.
set up for one.
We'd be set up.
We make a phone
Didn't we
call.
have that budgeted one time for a generator for that purpose?
But it
But we didn't get
wasn't-
the generator?
It wasn't approved.
Okay.
So when we do the electric on that, are we gonna bid that out? Are we
Already
gonna
done.
comparable
Already,
rates?
I've already done it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already been done. It's happened about a month ago.
Okay.
Number two, I've got the Country Club Heights, the storm drain project, which, we were waiting on the engineer study. It was kicked around for several months, but now it's done and we are able to do that project. That was my number two I had on there. Number three was Green Street widening. That's gonna be a relatively simple project, but there's new development going in on Green Street.
And I think I asked you this when you were going through your budget, but do you feel like we could use municipal road aid to do that?
Yes, I talked to Penny about that.
Yeah,
So-
I didn't include that in
Yeah, so we
capital.
have municipal road aid money, about 194,000, that we could use 30 of that to do this project. So that would, come out of that state money that we get.
So who won the bid? Who did you get to bid the electric? Who got that bid?
There was, right now, it's Landry.
Was he cheaper than everybody else?
We put out 4 packets and he's the only one turned one in.
And when were they put out?
Month ago.
How long
Month
ago.
Month
Yeah.
ago?
Contacted all the locals. They were all at a pre-bid meeting. They
Yeah.
came, but they never turned in
A bid.
a bid.
Wow. Did we advertise it out of town or anything?
Yes,
Did it?
it's
They
in
did?
in the paper. It went out on Dodge reports. They can all pick it up. That's all we had.
You're in the
And
same
we
trouble
may wanna
everybody is.
Yeah.
the thing about it is, you rebid and you gotta,
Yeah.
there's certain that, but the engineer has to look at it and analyze the whole bid. Number 4 was the tuck point and waterproof in the meeting house. And that's something that, we need to try to get done if at all possible, and that may be in our, I don't know if that'd be in our building maintenance or not.
Who does the tuck point?
We've got 2 or 3 guys that we've used, local contractors. That's what we I always try to get a couple of bids, 2 or 3 bids.
Does Dollar Bill do tuck point?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
Do y'all want to keep that one in there
Yeah.
for the meeting house?
Yeah, it's gotta be done.
I mean, your Wall Street pump and Goose Creek, that's the 2 decks, 5 and 6, which Wall Street's a little pump that runs all the time when we have any rain,
And it's leaking oil now. It started leaking the last time. So,
And those are rebuilds, correct, David?
yes.
Yeah. Well, the Wall Street could be a new one.
Okay.
Goose Creek would be a rebuild.
Okay.
Goose Creek's a rebuild. Wall
Okay.
Street will have to be a new one.
How old is Wall Street pump? How old is Wall Street's pump?
It was put
70
in
years
with-
old.
It's
70.
Probably
70.
old as the flood wall.
old the flood wall.
Can we not get them or what?
We
Well,
can't get that pump no more. No, ma'am.
they're hard to get. That's just like the one I'm having foundered. I mean, for Limestone Creek. Yeah, you can get them. They're Fairbanks, is what they're called. And they're wonderful pumps, but they're just very difficult. There's only a certain couple of people that make them. And
Is it even reasonable we would get those 2 pumps within this next fiscal year?
Possibly, they told me they could get them within 6 months. New. This is small, these are small. The rebuild one would be done, that wouldn't be a
Right.
problem. Allied, that's probably who would do that.
And there's only, the rebuild one, we have to do it in the right season, because there's only 2 pumps in there, and 1 pump can't keep up if we would get into flood season, so it has to be done at the right time of the year.
Mid, late summer.
Yeah, midsummer, early, get into early summer when there's no flood, so we can't pull it out in, September and have it rebuilt.
Yeah, exactly.
Good with the pumps? Okay. What else you got, Dave?
Well, the roof at Dennis is the Public Works 2 building. I've got it on there.
Yeah, that's the one that we'll circle back.
And then,
Wait a minute, let's stay there.
okay,
Let's stay there. What about the roof at Public Works number 2 on Kent Station Road?
So we're gonna repair it, is that what it is?
No, that's to replace it.
Yeah.
Unless there's a consensus to push it off and just monitor it and patch
Can
it
you do without
as.
that? Are we okay on that if we approve that?
I mean, we have money in the bank.
Okay.
I mean, if that's, if it's a necessity, I think we do.
But don't we have emergency services house there with all that equipment too?
Oh yeah, that's priority is
Yeah.
is
That's-
clay
that's
stuff.
the roof that we're talking about.
Yes.
Yes, it's the whole thing. Yeah.
And we
Yes,
got the DMV in there too, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
gotta look at making sure that we don't flood these people out. There's thousands of dollars of equipment sitting in there.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave, what else you got?
probation and parole, that was below, of course, I had it at 8, which,
Well, didn't you all try to prioritize and only bring us the things you really needed to start with?
yes.
And again, it needs to be done.
And you said 36,000 a year, Penny, in lease payments, basically.
Yeah, I thought we already cut.
Well, we were going to circle back to it
Yeah.
with yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. What was 9, Dave?
The one-stop building, the flooring, but I don't know, do you have that in there? Penny? Maintenance.
We generally have, let's see.
We try to do a little bit every year in that building, that's, with the tile floor, the VCT, some of that stuff's been in there since
Since it opened.
it opened.
2000.
Right, I have 50,000 for maintenance at One Stop. I don't know if that will.
That scares me.
Yeah.
Seems
If
like we're
you
down
use
there every
20
week.
of it, and one big hit,
Yeah.
there's a lot of normal maintenance
Yeah.
that we
There
also
is,
do.
and that's what
So that would, I think I consider that as an addition to capital improvements if we do that floor.
It's not traffic.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of people go in there.
Sure it is. Good. Okay.
Of course, I always try to do seal and stripe some of our parking lots, which I've got on here this year, the US Bank lot, City Hall, French Quarter. And that's a good
Was that-
estimate.
Was that number 10?
Yes.
Okay.
number
Is
10.
that contracting it out, or is that us doing that?
That's contracting it out. Now, we would have to have somebody seal it. We probably could stripe it, it just depends on, and I could take possibly some of that out, but this is both.
I just knew we striped out here
Yeah.
before, so I didn't know if that
Yeah.
was us doing it or.
So are you recommending for you to stripe it and seal
It
it?
just depends on Dennis has got time, he's got one,
To it.
I,
And another thing too, with us right now, I've had two buckets of
Can't
blue
get paint.
ordered.
I know, you can't get striped.
I can't get it. It's been ordered for over a month and I've still not received it.
Do y'all want to keep
So
that?
can anybody else get it?
Can't you get some of that chocolate?
Or we just can't get it here?
Boys and Girls Club, come down there,
I guess because I ordered a small
spray
amount.
it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah, I've got a professional, I've got somebody coming in to do Third Street, which that's part of our deal to do that. And of course, they're gonna be down here today or tomorrow, working, and they can get it. It's just different contractors, big contractors.
Yeah, they buy a bigger bulk.
Leave it in?
gotta take care of our stuff.
We do.
Expect people to take care of theirs.
The Limestone Village drainage, we got a large pipe going into the subdivision, we've got to replace. That's, has some surface places come up through the road. And then there's some, in some parking areas along that street too.
Is that metal or concrete?
But I'm gonna put back a plastic,
Okay.
double walled plastic pipe. Yeah, it's metal right now,
Okay.
but it's rusted.
Keep it in. Okay. What's 12, David?
12 was the canopy out at the fuel depot, which that's just to save the equipment that's there, is basically what that's for.
And just to remind you, we have several entities that utilize the fuel pump station, and we charge them an extra fee on the gas, and what's probably 10,000 a year, maybe? Does that sound about right? Roughly.
Make on it?
No, that we make on it.
It just depends
Just
on
depends.
usage.
So we do get some revenue because we do have other entities that utilize the fuel pumps.
Didn't you all say before there was something issue with rust from the weather?
Yes, where it eats up our board on the inside, where it rains inside, and you can't stop it for that pokey board key.
Yeah.
We can't stop it, so, any,
Are you talking about a canopy that a school bus can drive under?
Yes.
That big?
Yes. and our garbage packers.
Packers are taller than above.
Yeah.
Is it only
County
gonna
and
be
the city
30,000?
Hmm.
It's only gonna be 30,000?
With the
You
kind we
sure?
can do, yeah.
With the county do.
Make sure you bolt it down to the ground. My God.
And
Yeah.
Deborah's good. You good with that? Okay. Andrew. Okay. David.
I had that Market Street electric, if we decide that's what we want to do. There's been a lot of discussion about that, Middle Market Street.
Have we tried the temporary service like we had talked about in the previous meeting when Caroline was talking about needing that electric? We were gonna run some lines and do the temporary service,
No.
so
we
they could
haven't.
try
We-
out that market area
Yes,
and
ma'am, we
see how
did
that
talk about
went.
that.
Remember we talked about that?
We talking about picking up off of, Lower Market and bringing the cords
Right.
across the
As a
road
trial, this before
as a
we
trial
make
and
that
error,
commitment.
and then putting our street bumpers across the street
Right.
to see how that would work. But
Cause she was talking about shutting that down,
Right.
And
you know,
then
at
seeing how
certain
many
times
people would
and seeing
show
how
up.
it
Yes,
was,
ma'am.
before we make that huge commitment, I mean, I
Yes,
think we
ma'am.
should at least do that trial. And
And
maybe
what-
put that on hold.
What do y'all think that would cost to do that?
Well, I've met with Kyle and I've met with a couple others, and, they're kind of on the limbo on that. They're trying to get the price on the wire.
The wires,
It has to be the rubber coated wire that we could take back up and roll up, so it has to be flex wire. It
Okay.
just can't be the stiff wire to lay down on the ground and keep it down there. It has to be something.
$10,000
Matt, I just don't think 10,000 will cover it.
even for a temporary.
Yeah,
My point is, if we're
because we gotta have that big plug in on the end of it.
if we do a temporary and we're creeping close to that 50,000 for permanent,
Yes, I was
You know?
thinking more in the 12 to 15 area.
well, okay.
But I may be, and I could be shy there, so I hate to give a number. I'm not an electrician, I don't know where
That'd
this stuff
just be
runs.
something we probably could do this budget cycle, have it for the summer and see how it goes, and then make that decision for, next spring, when we would need to
To
use
see how
that
the
again.
turnout flaw would be.
I can't picture what she's talking about. What do we?
It's like we've done downtown, at the US Bank parking lot or anywhere where they run the cords.
Okay.
And you got the plug-in boxes. You've seen the plywood
Right.
box that we've done.
The ones where we run around for Oktoberfest and I pick up out of where the bank ball is, where her favorite Christmas tree is, and we run it back around.
It's just like a big extension cord, but it's the electric on the ground.
And they're about that big around.
And that's temporary.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the temporary
Opposed to
service.
doing something permanent. You don't have all these festivals and visitors coming in, we got extension cords running around.
Well,
I mean, that's true.
And you'll have to do it every festival and event.
Yes.
Yes.
So
That's what I'm
you're
trying to
saying
weigh, the
50,000
temporary versus the permanent.
You're saying 50,000 would covered.
And that's us doing the conduit. That's not having somebody else do it. You know, we'd be putting in all the conduit.
We'd be digging the ditch and putting the conduit in,
So one and done.
One and done.
one and done.
Penny, you
And-
okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that when you were talking to Caroline, they were wanting to
Right.
have a trial, this is a trial version is what I was thinking.
And we can do that
I
this
mean, if we think we're
We
gonna
can do that.
use that
I just
middle
think in the long
market,
run,
Yeah, let's do
Let's
that.
do it
You wanna do
and
the-
see,
Do the temperate?
yeah,
do
and
it?
see.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna X out that 50.
That's fine.
Okay, I'm putting an X there. Penny, you got an X there?
Mhm.
Okay, Dave?
Well, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How much is it gonna cost? to do
Well,
it?
again, I mean, I don't know that we know.
I mean,
And
like
put something
Dennis,
in there?
Some of the wire is, right now, wire's running anywhere, when you hook up a 200 amp service for your house, it's running $12 and $16 a foot. $12 to $16 a foot, and that's for stiff wire. I don't know what flex wire's gonna run, so again, I really don't know.
Would you want to allocate some money in there for?
I mean, we probably
What's your
have it
thoughts?
this year that we can go
Okay.
ahead and use. I mean, if we could go ahead and just get
I
it
mean,
done within June, get the wire purchased.
Well, what do you
We
think?
already
would be
have
better?
the funds
The wire and our
available.
connector heads will be the big
the
thing.
block each way is about 330 feet, so that's 600 feet, that'd be $10,000 worth of wire.
So,
I mean,
So
but
$10,000 to do a temporary,
some of that could be used down the road.
okay.
That's what I was trying to wrap my head around is, you know, if we're gonna spend that much to do temporary, why not go on and do the
Permanent.
permanent, correct?
And that way it would be there in case somebody else wanted to come down.
You done,
Other than
correct,
the scheduled festival
Yes, sir.
events and have something in Middle Market Street that
Correct.
could run right in.
Especially with our fountain
Yeah.
being fixed. And
you wanna go on and do the permanent?
I don't like the,
I got an upvote here,
I'm fine, but I think we should do it.
Okay.
Do it right.
I got an upvote here, I got an upvote here, Miss Ann?
Yeah.
Okay, David?
That's fine.
Okay, all right, let's leave
It's
it,
a good thing.
let's leave it.
You want wires running
I want one.
So we're just gonna do the, are we gonna bid that out?
there. Make sure you
How are we
Yes.
gonna do,
handle
so we'll have to bid that out?
Well,
We'll have to bid out the
the
material.
material,
We'll do the conduit. We will run the conduit.
looking it up, yeah. Big price is gonna be in the.
You're not gonna cut up any new blacktop, are you?
Possible. If I don't directional board, we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
We have conduits there, but I don't know what all.
Yeah.
I think we can use some of them.
Now, Dave, you've also got McDonald Parkway West lot. That's in there
Yeah.
for upgrades. The lower lot down near Wall Street.
Yes.
It needs attention. I know you all have seen it. It needs attention.
You're talking blacktop.
Yeah. What would you do to?
It's asphalt,
It's got holes.
Stripe.
enlarging the entrance and exits, landscape.
Got large potholes in there
It's-
too.
It
That was
needs
in the budget last year, did we not landscape
And
it
the
out
year
last year?
before, and the year before.
Before.
No, we took it out.
Yeah,
But it was brought to us.
it was brought to you, yes, but it was taken out.
It was.
Yeah.
But we put 30,000 in the budget for last year, will that cover that this year? Are you saying blacktop and landscape?
The asphalt, it wouldn't even, that's what we,
I'm saying all, just for landscape.
yeah,
Everything.
I mean, 50,000, yeah, yeah.
You all want to keep that in?
Well, we haven't done anything since I've been on this board down there, so if we do it, we won't have to worry about it for another 20 years.
Well, and what
12 or 14 years.
what will help is these construction projects, especially once Wall Street gets completed, the consumer project and storing all that material there. That should slow down,
Yeah.
shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll wait for them to get out
Right.
of there with Wall Street.
I mean, do you think Wall Street's even gonna be done
It-
in the next
They
fiscal
get-
year?
I think
Do-
they
Yes.
got 6 months.
They got 6
on it.
months, yes. We had a meeting with them the other day.
I just didn't know if that would even be reasonable to put that in there with the timing.
Yeah, I mean, it would
Well, we
be,
don't have, I mean, if you don't
we'd be
think,
doing the spring of
Yeah, spring of next year.
next year.
They'll be done with that
But we
project
can do
by
a lot
then.
of our stuff before then.
So are you saying 50,000 for just paving and then additional for landscaping?
No,
Like,
everything.
No, everything.
Everything,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I've got a price on
Keep it.
Yeah, for me.
I got you, I got Deborah shaking her head yes, Andrew's got a thumb, so it's 3. Okay. The Penny, the GPS system for engineering utilities, that was in Mark's budget, correct? No,
two
it's not.
separate things.
Separate.
Now
Okay,
that
I'm sorry.
After I talked to him,
Okay.
Mark has a GPS,
Okay.
different type of GPS
Okay.
system.
I wanted to double check there. So David's got 15,000 in there for a GPS system.
And that was in last year's as well.
I think we took that out
Yeah,
last
it was
year.
taken
It was taken out,
Okay,
yeah.
so,
You want to do that?
what, and what that's for is, it helps us with, like Mark, he's got a system where they're gonna locate all their valves, manholes, stuff like, he's got something proposed. This, you can go in, they can use it, they set something new, or they find one that we haven't found for 100 years, which we did on Third Street. We can locate them, we know where they're at. Of course, I use it with my engineering surveying stuff. And then some of that's a computer upgrade for the software too,
I don't have a problem with
so.
But David, actually, looking back at last year's, it was included.
that.
And
It
you
was.
did have it in your budget.
I didn't know it was approved.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
was in
was.
last year's.
How long would
I
it take
thought
you to
it
get there?
Oh, I can get it.
So we could
Yeah,
go on, we could go on and get it.
In my summary, it was included.
Yeah.
So we could go on and get that Penny prior to the end of the fiscal year, so we can scratch that,
I thought it was.
scratch that one. Okay. Replacement vehicle.
I think there was 8,000 last year and you just, can't-
You can't find anything.
it's probably just as bad, what he's got for that.
Can you transfer one over from utilities? Don't they have a lot of vehicles?
Yeah, but their floorboards are rusting out, and that's why Mark had money in his for, and I know we'll get to it, but David had some questions, but that's why he's asking for
Can,
money.
can we buy vehicles from private individuals?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We have,
yeah, we have.
Alright.
You got a Mercedes for sale?
No, but a girl texted me the other day that had a Tahoe for sale. And I
Okay.
told David and them about it, but when I called her back, she'd sold it.
Yeah, we can. We just have to get, if it's over 5,000, we got to get 3 informal quotes.
I got a 2000 Ford Focus wagon that he could put his tools in, and $49.99.
Do you all want to leave that in there?
Craig, don't you two share a vehicle?
Yeah, don't you all ride together?
We do because his, it just depends.
Right.
Does it not run at all?
Mm,
Does it not start?
It's pretty,
It's pretty
it's
bad.
pretty bad.
It's bad.
But we're trying to use it, we could use it quite a bit, but it's got transmission problems.
I'm thinking about we're not getting more Tahoes, are we?
Not for that price, you're not gonna get, no. I'd say we'd be looking at I'll tell you, a mid-size type SUV. Something that has a hatch in the back
Yeah.
to store stuff in it. But no, unless you can, unless they can find one for that price that's in reasonable shape, but
Like an Equinox.
No, I don't know about that.
Escape, Explorer, something a step down from that. Okay, you're nodding your head. You're shrugging your shoulders.
Well, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, you're fine. You think
we
about
have
it.
the right-
I mean,
I
this
know.
one will go to Dennis or to utilities, but, just don't know how long it'll last, I'll be honest with you. With somebody else driving it besides us.
You two could continue to share a vehicle for a year.
And the thing about it with me, if it comes to me, it'll be used, to give you some kind of idea, like if we have to move supplies and clean restrooms with all 5 of our restrooms, that's something that you just can't haul in the front seat of a pickup truck. I would like to have one for that purpose, but I'm not gonna buy one for that, so we're just making the best of a rough
Making
situation with us right now.
Transmission problems.
Excuse me?
You gotta fix the transmission if that's.
Well, if it goes out, no, we'll put it in the lot,
Yeah.
it'll go to sale.
Surplus it.
If it gets a major issue with it, I won't spend no
No.
X amount of money on it.
Yeah.
We bought
Set
that for
brakes.
$4,000 7 years ago.
You got a lot out of it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
What do you look at when
You
you?
have a 10, do you have a 10 or 11 o'clock is, you have a 10, okay.
It's okay.
Yes, we're good. Whatever y'all wanna do.
Or if they wanna stay, I can move. But I just need 5 minutes to get there.
Okay,
Um,
so what about the car?
Where do you look at, David? Where do you look at the cars? Do you look online or
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dealers or? anybody?
all of them, yeah. Car Gurus, there's
Agent,
Asian Motors, they have a lot of federal, state vehicles. The state websites now, you can't buy it, you have to bid on them.
Yeah.
And that's just it's kind of a difficult process. You have to, it's at midnight, somebody will put in a bid for
Yeah,
I lost one for $3.50.
$1 more or $2
Wow.
more.
$3.50
Yeah.
to beat me out.
It's just different the way they do it. Now
GovDeal.com.
Gov deals.
I know used
But
cars are expensive.
We shop around everywhere and get 3 or 4
Can
prices,
you just sort of shop around and get back with it?
get around them.
Can
No,
you shop around on this car and see what you can get?
Yeah, we can shop around and see what we can get. I'm not gonna spend it if I don't have to.
Right.
If I can get one for 15 or, it's difficult.
Have you still been actively looking to even use the 8,000 we had allocated
yeah.
for this year?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
tried
we
several
tried.
times.
And nothing,
I mean, it's got 250,000 miles and stuff.
What's the next? You said you would look around.
yeah, do y'all want us to leave that or take it out? Cause then we just got one more, I think.
Favorable one anymore.
What is it? I'm sorry.
If you can get one for around that price.
Oh, we wouldn't go over it. We can't go over it. No, if that's what you approve, we can't go over that.
Well, I feel we've made them suffer long enough.
I take that as a yes, a yes, a
I
yes.
still prefer he shares the vehicle.
We do. But
I know
there's a
you
lot-
do, I see you.
There's a lot of times we go different place. I mean,
Cox Building door case and flooring work, that's the last one I'm showing on
Yeah.
there.
Yes. I've got, that door falls open all the time. People are over there trying it.
and I've talked to Dennis too about maybe helping with some of that, but I just don't know how much time he'll have to strip the floors. I mean, it just takes
we're gonna take the floors and the doors. Our department is, we work in for us.
but there's a lot of materials involved with that, so.
And that, is that in the fire plan, that back door? There's steps back there, and so it has to
Yes,
be able to open.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's next?
That's it, I think on David's.
Can you have
Charging stations.
They're in there.
it's all
They're in there.
Charging.
Yes, it's in there.
Hey, before we move on, that country club, that 85,000, is that still contingent upon the,
Gotta get
the
easements,
easements?
yes,
So if you have 1 or 2 holdouts, that's a done, that's,
that big, it wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen yet.
Do you put culvert heads on that, Dave?
The one at the bottom down there is gonna be expanded.
It's gonna have to happen.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty big. It's like a 6 foot, and it's gonna be done different so the debris won't attach to it. bad. But the pipes downstream are good. We can-
Oh, okay.
We've cambered them, we've done all the engineering and stuff on those. We'll set 3 or 4 catch basins and them coming down through there with the pipe. That's the plan.
So does that get all your departments?
Yes.
Yeah, that was it. I think that was everything on David's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did we decide we are gonna take out the 750 on the river?
Yeah, what do
Wait
you all
and
want to
see.
do there?
I need to know what to do on that.
I've been thinking after I put my foot in my mouth.
Or do we wanna just
If
leave
we don't get the
300
grant,
in?
then we're not doing anything on the river.
I really don't think we're gonna
Well-
get $750,000 worth of work done in one fiscal year anyway, so
You've
that's,
appropriated 160, right?
I did not. I didn't do anything with the grant,
For the
so I was
10%
thinking,
though.
I didn't do anything with
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can
Well, let's,
reduce that down
yeah, let's
because
put it to
it's
the
not
appropriate amount. and then-
reasonable to think
Yeah.
that we're gonna get that much work done in one
Yeah.
fiscal year anyway.
Yeah, I want.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you
Half
wanna
it.
do? You wanna do
After I said that.
300, or do you wanna do 160 for the
160.
match? I mean, even that would give them, even if we didn't
Yeah.
get the grant, we'd still have 160,000 to start projects. If you would like to do that,
1.6,
yeah.
1.656
would be
million.
160.
But if
For
we,
riverfront.
That's that, yeah, that's from the landing to the river park.
but if we leave it in there, we don't get the funding, then, cause that work, there's some, especially with the docks and stuff, it needs to be started right away. So shouldn't we leave it in so that they, if we don't get the grant, they could still go ahead and start?
That's why I
projects?
had the whole 750 in
I
there.
think we leave it in there.
So, but the numbers are, you know, I don't know that we can get that much work done in 1 year.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, we could probably maybe do like we had originally the
375.
375, because we had allocated 750 for 2 years for river related work. We didn't do any this fiscal year, so that's why I just put the whole 750 into 2023 fiscal year. So I could do just
Want
375.
to split it?
That would give them plenty.
Split
And
it.
it has to be an engineer, we have an engineering firm
Right.
selected for that.
You want to do that? Do the half? Because that's probably all we could get done in a fiscal year anyway, is the point these
Make it
two are
more
trying,
reasonable.
these two are trying to make.
So that still knocks 375 off the debt.
Yes.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
Is that okay with everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions on David's stuff?
David, do you have any role at all on what's going out at the southern states? No. Okay. That's all state. Okay.
You talking about the pipe, the drain?
Yes.
That's on private property, that was the private person. that
Right, but it goes under the
Yes,
road.
And when I did have the state come and look at it, I
Oh.
contacted them to come look at it, and then they turned it back. Their part was good under the road,
Okay. Okay,
but the rest of it fell back on the private owner.
all right. Thank you.
And they've talked to him about it.
Okay. Thank you.
You want to just go to the next tab, which is number 3, code enforcement?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with George's, but did the bathroom ever get fixed downstairs because of this? I think I've heard him say it smells.
It's not
It's a-
downstairs. It's not downstairs.
Where's it at?
It's right outside my office. It's a vent.
It's yours.
It's a
I
vent.
heard them complain downstairs. George,
I don't
did I
think you
hear
all.
that from you?
I-
Or
I
We had a
haven't.
hot water heater leak down there, we did fix that.
No, it's upstairs. It's not.
Upstairs.
It's not
Yeah, I
downstairs.
don't-
It's mine.
yeah, okay, sure.
We're still.
Okay,
Yeah.
you put up with it.
Oh, I do.
Why don't we fix it? What's
Because
it
we
do?
don't know what the problem is.
We can't.
We can't isolate the problem.
The only thing, I mean, we've had plumbers look at it.
I think we have isolated. It's
Yes.
not a plumbing issue. It's a venting
Yeah.
issue.
Is it like sewer gas? Is that what it is?
Take an old farm manure pond in August. Is that the best way to put it?
And it is bad.
And it's
Can we
not
stay
just
on
outside
task?
his office.
Can we please stay on task with the
Yeah.
budget?
Sure. Now, I will say in Georgia's, I do want to add $25,000 in there because he's got a comprehensive plan update coming, and it may not cost that. We're looking at probably 10 to 25, and looking at an outside agency to facilitate and go through this process. That plan has not been, for lack of a better term, comprehensively updated for 22 years.
And it was 25,000.
Probably then, yes, it
was.
was 20 or 25,000 then, and we're looking at working with a university to facilitate this. Who does this work? They
And
do
That's
this.
the last one he did. He told us when we did it. He said, I'm not doing these anymore.
Ron Marino, who did that.
Yeah, he said, I'm retiring, so.
This is very important, and this will be split with the county.
Yeah.
So we're looking at half of whatever that
You
cost.
need to add 12 to this page.
I would add at least $1,250, yes, and that is important, and we would anticipate that process starting around August. Is everybody okay with that? And I think that is important.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if you go to the next page, that is Caroline's.
I think you got something on the security. Thank you.
I don't have any problem.
I don't have any problem with Caroline.
Okay.
So
We're
we're
hope-
gonna do how many trash cans, cause I need to know
Oh,
that.
yeah. I had a note of a half dozen.
That's what I had.
That's right.
Six.
That's what I have.
Is that what everybody had? Okay. Okay, if everybody is good there, tab 4 would be fire department.
I have no problem with Kevin.
Okay,
I think what he
everybody
does-
else okay there? Okay. The next page is police department.
I have no problem with
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I had to stretch.
Okay, 5 we did, that was Public Works. The page behind that was cemetery.
it. That's fine with me.
Okay. I'm just watching heads and listening.
You know, not to
No,
throw
you're-
things out, but we did a sign inventory years ago. And we had somebody come in here and they said we had, they said, please don't put a bunch of signs in your cemeteries. And, you know, I just was out there the other day and there was a lot of new signs out there.
I can pretty much promise you that Kevin is on top of things there.
Okay.
And he knows the rules and regulations and,
Matt,
yes,
we are on a special meeting, and so I think we need to stay on the
Okay,
budget
okay,
workshop and
all right.
and not on other subjects, because it's a special meeting.
Okay, we will do that. Utilities is tab number 6. David, you had a question on vehicles?
Yes, the number of vehicles. You've got 18 employees, you got 24 employees, you got 18 vehicles. It just seems,
Alright.
No, you're all right.
it just seems like a lot. I just wonder,
I think some of them are in pretty bad shape, aren't they?
okay.
Yeah, I don't know about the inventory of the vehicles. I
Well,
just know we have a
and
lot of them.
You've got 5 for the water plant. I mean, is that necessary?
$75,000 is probably not gonna get you, but, I mean, I'm guessing maybe if you're looking at used, 5
We had
vehicles.
third,
They have
replace
3,
three.
replace 3 new ones, so 25 apiece, yeah, that's reasonable.
So you wanna buy new vehicles?
I mean,
New one?
that's what Mark's looking at, yeah, 75,000 requests for vehicles.
that'll be used vehicles.
Oh, used, I'm sorry,
Used.
okay, so,
I'm sure they'll be used at 25,000.
Yeah.
yeah,
And we do have a lot of vehicles, you know, we do have 24 employees in operations, but 5 of them are at the water plant that don't require vehicles. So there's a lot of vehicles for a few number of employees. I mean, there really is. I don't know what the status is, maybe we need an update list on all those and, you know,
Well, can we get that?
And you all,
detailed
you can,
inventory of all the vehicles and who really needs to be driving a vehicle, they can ride together. I mean, we do have a lot of vehicles that we're paying maintenance and insurance and things like that on.
You can buy a brand new Toyota pickup truck, based not four-wheel drive,
Mhm.
but with extended cab for $26,000.
Oh, okay.
So, and I think that would serve us well.
Okay.
Just an idea.
Sure.
I did some price
Last year in
checking.
the budget, give them money for.
And he did use that.
Yeah, he did.
He did get, I think he got 2 vehicles.
So does that
and
still
his-
leave us vehicles that weren't in good shape?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
His note, Ann, was utility department will need to replace the 3 oldest and worst condition vehicles in our fleet. In the past 12 months, we have had to retire 3 vehicles due to them being completely worn out and unusable. We would like to replace these 3 vehicles with a requested amount of $75,000.
I was just thinking that we had updated all our vehicles that was in good shape.
I don't think we've updated all of them. We've tried to phase them in over the years, and he did buy what 2 or 3
I know he
that was in the
purchased-
budget for this year. He did purchase.
Penny, after you do your audit, if you don't think there's a need, will we surplus?
Oh yeah.
those vehicles and get rid of them?
Well, we can. Yes, we will. Absolutely.
Yeah, when they do their annual
Auction.
auction, we usually,
Yeah.
are we gonna do one of those this year? or-
Usually-
Well, I don't know how many vehicles we'll have.
Usually, at least every couple of years,
Every
you do
couple years. I
one,
had one
and
last
he
year,
keeps
so
them
we
on
may
his
not
lot.
need This year.
And then once we get enough, kind of like our lots, we try to do a surplus. We're looking to do one.
Clean up.
You want to do a joint one
We always have.
with the county? Why?
No.
Okay.
We do
No.
our own, they do theirs.
We, in
Okay.
order to keep track of everything.
All right.
So what's your recommendation? You're the comptroller.
I mean, I think we need to look at what we have and who really needs to have a specified vehicle for them within the utility. I don't think every employee needs a vehicle at their beck and call.
No.
Okay,
Really look at maybe matching vehicles to employees and see what we really need. Is there a need? And just because they're old and outdated doesn't mean that we need to replace them. Maybe they just need to go out of service.
that was my only question.
Okay.
Totally
So take the
appreciate it.
75 out or leave it in?
Or,
Or reduce it down, yeah, I mean, that's up to you all, I mean, we can reduce that down.
Sure.
And see, but there
But
is
I'd
a lot
still
of
like to
vehicle,
see-
now, I don't know, they might be specific vehicles for a specific
I would
purpose,
still
I'm
like
not
to
sure.
see you do what you just stated and see how many we need.
Yeah, I'll definitely look at that and
And then
reevaluate that amount.
Yeah.
I'm not,
that's
Mark's
good.
not here,
Yeah.
but that's the best I know about it at this point.
Yeah, we can find some new vehicles cheaper,
If we
And,
need.
and what
If
about
we
state,
need- if we
state
need.
contract now?
Oh, we always look at state
Yeah.
contract.
Okay.
We're always. I've got the master list up on my computer.
All right.
So Penny will follow up on that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, gang. I think if you go to tab 7 and tab 8, those are our nonprofits and all. All of that. Everything okay there?
I noticed that, the CAC mentioned, Ian Foster Fund. And, that thing has not produced very much lately. Are you keeping track on
You
that?
talking about the interest?
Actually, last year was for FY '21, we had a really good year. The funds I've been receiving this year have actually been more than they had
Well,
been in
yeah,
the past.
rates are going up.
Right.
I just,
Right, and then when I was discussing it the other day, we've got 147,000 available in operating cash to allocate. At one point, that had dwindled down to hardly anything, and we had actually had cut some of the allocations.
Oh, yeah.
But now it is back up. Now, I don't know what's going on this quarter, but, it was, I think for FY
You need to
22,
get.
I think our dividends and interest funds are sufficient to allocate this amount.
Have we spent any of the corpus?
No,
Okay.
no, we don't. All we spend is, that's why I keep track of, what the cash flow is on that fund, so we don't overspend. But we're in good shape right now with these allocations.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other budget questions?
then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Well, can I ask one more quick question?
Is there
Do
any
you want to come back, or do you want Penny to go on and finalize the numbers for a first reading? Whatever you all wanna do.
Come back, you should check on the videos.
Whatever you all wanna do.
And I mean, I should be able to get with Mark and look at that pretty quickly. I am on vacation next week, so
What about tomorrow?
I'm not sure how, if, you know, what the availability of the, I mean, I'm fine with
I'm
tomorrow.
fine. I can come, she and I can come back. Now, if we wanna come back, you know, it would have to be at least 10:30 or later, cause we'd have to get notice to the,
Yeah.
to the media
Newspaper.
really quick.
I can do
Which is
noon
fine.
tomorrow.
I'm fine.
Noon.
I'm pretty
Noon.
confident I'm good.
That's
Could
fine.
everybody come back at noon?
We'll make sure, I guess Mark or Greg. will
Yes, I'll
need
have
to
him,
be here
yes,
to-
we'll do that. Mark just got back from a conference.
Will this sheet be updated?
I can update that
Yeah.
immediately.
I wanna see what.
Yeah, I'll get it, no, I'll get that
We're still-
redefined immediately.
Is noon okay? I'm looking at, oh, you're leaving, that's right, that's why we did this on.
Well, you know what we're doing.
Yeah, I've got no problem with y'all meeting and
Okay.
asking more questions. I
Okay.
was okay with all these expenditures anyway, so if they get cut, I trust y'all's judgment,
Noon, Vic,
Thank you.
most of it.
could you do noon? Okay. Deborah, David, do noon?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on and get notice to the paper as soon as we get out, and, WFTM as soon as we get out. We can do that. Thank you all.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make
So-
that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brammer,
Yeah.
Commissioner Cartmel,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner McKay,
Yes.